Tonight we have team coverage from Blacksburg, including the latest information, the latest medical information, an update on a timeline, and reaction from local, state, and national officials. We're at the Inn at Virginia Tech, and this is the area where people have been told to show up. If you have questions, if you have friends or family members and you're worried about them, this is supposed to be sort of the clearinghouse for information. President Steger spoke earlier this afternoon saying that now the process of notifying family members of those killed. You spoke to a few people up front, including one student who had a dramatic story about today.
Exactly, and you know, students have been streaming.
Yeah, and not only questions here, Noreen, but from some of the parents who are talking about this, downright anger at the university's response. More on that in a bit, but President Charles Steger of Virginia Tech and Chief of Police Wendell Flinchum took to the podium earlier and tried to explain exactly how they responded. Here's their timeline. 7:15 a.m. they receive a 911 call at the West Ambler Johnston dorm. Officers find 2 people inside shot. One is dead. The other would be in a few hours. Officers secure the hall and they tell students to stay in their rooms. 7:30, officers develop that person of interest you mentioned. 8:25, Virginia Tech's leadership team assembles and they talk about how to notify all of the students about this shooting. By 9:26, and this is the timeline that some people are having concerns about, by 9:26 the emails are sent out, 36,000 emails, and then the weather line is activated to send out messages by telephone as well. 9:45, another 911 call comes in for a shooting at Norris Hall. Officers respond to Norris. They find the doors chained shut from the inside. They break through the doors and they hear gunfire. By the time the officers get to the second floor, the shooting has stopped. They say they find the shooter dead of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They have a preliminary identification on that shooter, they say, but they are not releasing his name and they are not saying whether he was a student. Chief Flinchum says he has never seen a crime scene like the one that he saw in Norris. Both men talked about their heavy hearts tonight.
Tens of thousands are without power in our viewing area after those very strong storms moved through this afternoon. Ahead, the latest on the damage, the outages, and the cleanup, which in some spots is now already underway.
Lots to clean up for sure. We are staying on top of today's storm with team coverage tonight at 5:30.
Yeah, we want to go straight to Chief Meteorologist Sean Sublett. So, Sean, where are these storms now?
Now we're going to go to Sally Delta, who's live in Lynchburg in those neighborhoods.
Yeah, Sally, you've seen a lot of the damage done out there pretty close up, haven't you?
And report those outages.
Hey, so many of those down power lines out there. What are the priorities now for your crews that are heading out to work on this?
They are among the best pilots in the world, and today they sure proved that to me. I had a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to ride with a Navy Blue Angel in an FA-18 Hornet, a $35 million aircraft that'll do pretty much anything the pilot tells it to.
Track it.
Lieutenant Dave Tickle showed me all his Hornet can do. We darted and danced through the sky with 16,000 pounds of thrust at our backs. You want fast? You got it.
There's 200 knots, 5 seconds. There's 250 in 9 seconds. There's 500, 31 seconds. There's 550.
I started strong, handling high G maneuvers through the Hick procedure. I'm squeezing my leg and stomach muscles and holding my breath to keep from passing out. This is a 7.2 G turn, meaning I feel more than 7 times heavier.
7.2 Gs? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was great.
As powerful as the Hornet is, it's also graceful. But the big moves got my adrenaline pumping, and I handled them all. Lieutenant Tickle even called me a G monster, filling me with confidence I was ready for anything. Before one final turn.
All right. You with me? Lynn, you took a little nap on me. Lynn, you with me? Yeah. You took a little nap on me, Lynn. Did I really? Yeah. Did I really? You sure did.
I really had no idea I was out. I want to thank the Blue Angels and the organizers of the Lynchburg Air Show. Hey, trust me on this. If you're considering coming out for the show this weekend, my advice, do it. Every bit as impressive as those jets are the pilots who fly them. It really is something to see.
Meet Scooby Stevens, a workout warrior. This dog has an almost non-stop motor, a perfect trait for a Rhodesian Ridgeback, dogs bred in Africa to hunt lions. He certainly looks the part, although he doesn't have a ridge. But people ask all the time, is he a Ridgeback? Time and again I answer, he sure is, maybe mixed with something else. You know Ridgebacks hunt lions? He's a good dog, and like any good Ridgeback, even those without a ridge, he needs his exercise, so we in the Stevens household do our part to sap his energy. We let his best buddy Cadbury help. Cadbury is Noreen's dog. We tested him, too.
I'm just kind of curious. I'd just like to know what's in him.
Dr. Cassandra Campbell at Peaksview Animal Hospital says there could be great value in knowing your dog's breeds.
We may have a heads up to some of the medical conditions that could be happening or anticipate them.
Case in point, this Dalmatian, Sherman. He has beautiful blue eyes, and he's deaf. Why? It's in his genes.
The Dalmatians have a genetic deafness associated with blue eyes.
Knowing your dog's breeds means knowing your dog's genes and any health and behavioral issues. We also did a purebred test on Dr. Campbell's dog Maverick, believed to be a purebred boxer, using the Wisdom Panel test kit from the Mars Company.
This is not easy. Oh, you're such a good boy.
A few weeks later, Dr. Angela Hughes gave me the results for all the dogs through Skype. First up, Maverick. No surprises here. He is full-on boxer, and a friendly one at that. Now, Noreen's dog, Cadbury.
The Humane Society said that he was a Shepherd-Collie mix. But most people, when they look at him, the first thing that they ask is, does he have golden in him?
The results, about what we expected. Golden Retriever, Chow, and some German Shepherd.
Several of these breeds do have orthopedic issues, so that would be what I would pay attention to most in him.
The advice? Keep him thin, so there's less wear and tear on his joints. Finally, Scooby's results, and this should be easy. He's bound to be about 90% Rhodesian Ridgeback.
The Bulldog and the Chihuahua were the two that came out strongest in him.
What?
And the Chihuahua's coming up very consistently.
A Chihuahua? What?
What the hell's going on out here?
Can't be. From the start, I've told Scooby he's a Ridgeback, without a ridge, descendant from proud animals that roamed the plains of southern Africa, fearless enough to take on the king of the jungle. He's never been fitted for a sweater. He does not dance the flamenco, and he's never once said, "Yo quiero Taco Bell." Something has to be wrong. Well, Hughes says my reaction is actually fairly typical, that all the time people think they know their dog's breeds.
A lot of people have that perception, and they get set on that one breed.
Only to have their minds blown. She says dogs' traits, ear and tail shape, coloring, hair length can come from a variety of breeds. For instance, she says both Bulldogs and Chihuahuas carry the yellow gene, which my Scooby has.
And yellow is recessive. He needs 2 copies of that yellow gene to come together.
Plus, my Scoop shows up as at least 42% other breeds, sheepdogs and spaniels mostly, and the test indicates there could be still other breeds in Scoop's more distant past.
He's got a lot of different breed groups coming together.
One positive, more breeds in the mix very generally means a healthier dog. It's called hybrid vigor.
In terms of diseases, I think he's going to reap the benefits of being a Heinz 57.